Hello and welcome to my short video presentation on setting up OBS for multicording. That is recording multiple sources. In this case, I'm going to do a webcam, I'm going to do some gameplay, and I'm going to record them to separate video files so that maybe I want to edit this for a YouTube channel or do some other post-processing afterwards. This is a pretty useful feature, and I'm just going to dive right in. So first introduction, I am Neon Tom. You're probably watching this on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/neontom, or you may be reading it on my blog down here, hm37.net. You can also see a text version of this on that website as well. So a couple of things you're going to need to set up first. I don't need to zoom it. That's for the presentation, so ignore that. A couple of things you're going to need. For OBS, you're going to need one plugin, the Ndi plugin, and a link to this will be provided on the blog post that accompanies this video. The Ndi plugin, it's technology from a company called NewTek. It basically allows you to output whatever OBS sees on your network so that you can use an Ndi receiver to capture that on another computer on your network, or in our case, we're going to use the same computer. So quick high-level overview of what we're going to do. We're going to use 3 instances of OBS. The first one, which is up here in the upper left corner of the screen, is going to capture the webcam and output it over the network using the Ndi protocol. And we're going to capture that in the main OBS window. We're going to run a second instance of OBS, which is going to capture our game and desktop audio, and that's going to be output on a separate Ndi projector. And then there's going to be a third instance of OBS, which is going to capture both of those, mix them together, and that's what we're going to stream with or do our final recording with. So this is mainly geared at live streamers, YouTube, Twitch, whatever site you like to use. Quick little primer on OBS. That's the software I'm using here. You could do something similar in XSplit. I think Slobs, Streamlabs OBS, I think that has NewTek Ndi plugins available as well, but I don't use Slobs, so you should be able to follow this pretty much step by step, provided they have an Ndi plugin. So first thing you're going to need to do is download the actual Ndi plugin here from GitHub, and basically you're going to go to the link here. You're going to come down under downloads, go to the releases, and you're going to scroll down, look for the latest Windows installer. At the time of recording, it's version 4.9.0. Basically run that. It's going to install into OBS, and then you're done. I think next time you open OBS, you have to allow a firewall exception, but go ahead and do that. So that's the OBS setup. The other thing you're going to want to do, I've done down here already. You want to create 2 directories. I named them camera and gameplay. I put this on a very fast solid state drive. I would definitely recommend putting this on some kind of high throughput storage, ideally a dedicated SSD if you can do that. These are basically where the video files are going to be output that we're recording. So just go ahead and create 2 directories. One's called camera, one's called gameplay, and note where that is. Mine is in this file or this folder called video scratch on my D drive, which is a RAID array of 2 solid state drives. That being said, go ahead and open up OBS. First you need to edit your OBS shortcut. So to do that, right click your OBS shortcut. This may be on your desktop, or it could be like I have pinned on my start menu. Let me zoom this in for you. Basically, you want to right click on that and then right click on OBS Studio as well, like this. Come on down to Properties. And then right here, where it's got C program files, OBS Studio, bin 64-bit, OBS 64, you want to add this to the end. I can't zoom in any further. I apologize for that. This basically is -- multi and then warning. You want to add this on. So right after the last quote, it's space -- multi space warning. What that's going to do is disable a warning that OBS will pop up normally that complains about running multiple instances of OBS. Basically say, don't do this unless you know what you're doing. Good thing is we know what we're doing. So then you're going to need to do a little bit of setup inside OBS. I'm going to make use of profiles and scene collections here. So what you want to do is first is go to your profile menu up here at the top. And you can see I have 3 set up: stream to Twitch, record webcam, record gameplay. I would set them up very similar to that. All you have to do is come up here to profile, click new, put in record gameplay, click OK, record webcam, hit OK, and stream maybe YouTube or Facebook Live or whatever service you use. So once you have those profiles set up, you want to launch a copy of OBS that's running each of those. So basically what you want to do, the first one's going to open up, come to profile, hit your webcam profile, and then you can actually hold shift and click on OBS over here. And what you'll see is an additional copy of OBS will launch. And you can come in here and pick a different profile, different scene collection, so on and so forth. So just shift click OBS. That'll open your second one. Come on down, pick profile, the gameplay, and then open your third copy of OBS. Go to profile. And I've called this demo, but you could do this on your Twitch stream as well. The other thing we're going to need to do is set up some scene collections. So now that you have 3 instances of OBS running, and you can do this one at a time as well. But now that you have OBS running, go to scene collection, do a new one. Again, let me zoom in for you. Scene collection, new, and I do one for gameplay. I do one for webcam. I really should have muted Discord first. I apologize. And then we're going to have a streaming or live or whatever you'd like to call it. A final profile over here. Mine's called demo again. So with that set up, on the first one, load your record webcam profile, load your record webcam scene collection. On the second one, similar, your gameplay, scene, and profile. And in the third one, I'm using demo, but you could use your actual streaming profiles here instead. So once you have that set up, oh my goodness, I really apologize for that. Let me see if I can get out of Discord. Okay, that's better. So once you have that set up, I guess I didn't get all of it. Go to settings on the first one. So I'll zoom in here so we can you can all follow along. The main thing you're going to want to do is make sure this is not connected to a stream account. This is on the camera or gameplay. Both of these are going to be set up the same way. Make sure you can even set this to custom and just blank it out. You want to go to output. Now notice my options are all grayed out here. And the reason for that is because if I go to tools, Ndi Output Settings. So if you see this grayed out, go here, tools, Ndi Output. Go ahead and turn off main output. So mine's camera and mic. I'm going to turn that off right now. Then when I go back to settings, you'll see if I come back to output, I can actually change the options here. So what you want to do on the camera, you can actually set this to a simple output mode, and the defaults are totally fine. You can use NVENC, which will use your graphics card, or you can use software, which will use your CPU. I only recommend doing the software if you have a really powerful CPU. My computer has a Ryzen 9 in here, so it'll be just fine. Now, I'm going to use the advanced just because that's how I am. You can adjust some of your bitrate settings here. Again, for the streaming, it really doesn't matter. You want to change the recording tab. Oh, you know what? That actually only shows up on advanced. Well, you can do it right here as well. So change the recording setting to go to that camera folder. So mine's D video scratch camera. If I was back on simple, I could put it right here. Recording format, I would only use MKV or FLV. Those two handle power outages and sudden crashes of OBS much better than, say, an MP4 file. So go ahead and set that up. Audio doesn't matter too much. The only thing I'll touch on here, disable your desktop audio sources, disable all but one microphone, and that would be your normal stream mic. So for me, I'm using this Rode microphone, which is hooked up to a Focusrite USB. Just have that one microphone turned on. For video, this is the important one. You can set your base canvas whatever size you'd like. The output, you're going to want this fairly low. You could crank this up if you want to, and I'll just kind of show you what it does. The higher this goes, the more CPU it's going to use in your computer. So again, if you don't have a really powerful computer, this may not work out how you think it's going to. Mine should be able to handle at least 1080, but I'll output at 720. And then the only other thing you want to set up is a hotkey. So come on down to the hotkeys, put a start recording of, for instance, Control-Alt-R is what I'm using. Just make sure you remember what that hotkey is. You could also, if you're using a Stream Deck, you could also set that to a Stream Deck key. I don't have a Stream Deck, so I can't show you how to do that. The other thing is when you do a new scene collection, it's just going to say scene right here under scenes. Under sources, you're not going to have anything. So come in here, add, for me, it's video capture device, add your normal webcam, and then right here, you should have your mic or auxiliary. That should be the only thing. One thing to note, if you have a mic like mine, which is a mono mic, now you should only hear me in your left ear. You'll see I'm only getting one bar. Come on down to the settings, go to advanced audio properties, check off mono, and hit close, and it'll go back to being, it'll mix the mono, it'll duplicate the left channel to the right. So that's it for this, this copy here. Now you could check that it's going to work. There's a little test I did, so let me delete this. You can test that it's going to work by opening up your camera folder on your scratch drive, hit start recording, and you should actually see a file show up there. And as long as you do, which obviously this is working fine, then you're good to go on that. You can switch this back to the gameplay, and there's another test I did a little bit ago. You can do basically exactly the same thing on the gameplay OBS. So make sure your profile is on gameplay, your scene collection is on gameplay. Again, the scene, really, I only have two here. I have a game capture, which right now is capturing a specific window. You could do the full screen. You can do however you normally capture games. And I have HDMI capture here as well for when I do console gaming. And then you want to capture your desktop audio, which for me is going to be the Ghost Rider game. The window is not in focus right now, so you don't hear anything, and I did that on purpose. So you can do this. I'm going to go back into the settings, and I'll just dig in and show you again. On the recording tab, I set the recording path to D Video Scratch Gameplay instead of D Video Scratch Camera. And that will make sure that you're not outputting to the same file, which would cause issues. On the audio, I disabled the mic. So you don't want to capture a mic in this scene because we're already capturing it on the other OBS instance. You want to capture your desktop audio. You can do default or you can set it as you normally do. For video, I am outputting this at 720p, and that's all I'm going to stream at because I'm one of those people that I don't think anybody really gets a lot of benefit out of 1080 versus 720 on a streaming service. The other thing you want to do is make sure your recording hotkey, in this case Control-R, is the same as the, whoops. You want to make sure that's the same as the camera hotkey. So when you push them, you only have to hit the hotkey one time. So again, I'm not going to save anything because I didn't make any changes. So again, you can double check that this is working. Just hit start recording and you should see a video file pop up here. We do. So we're going to stop recording and delete the test video file. So with that said and done, the only other thing left to do, oh yeah, I cut off the Ndi output. So in both of these, you want to go into Tools and Ndi Output Settings and make sure to turn on Main Output. It normally just says OBS here. Sorry, let me zoom in and do this again. Go to Tools, Ndi Output Settings, turn on Main Output. It normally just says OBS, so go ahead and change this to something else. In my case, for this camera one, I call it Camera and Mic. For the gameplay, I output to an Ndi projector called Gameplay. So what that's going to do is over in our demo, you can see it's actually capturing my camera now. Over in the demo, or this would be your live stream, I'm going to delete both of these sources so you can see how to create this from scratch. Basically what you want to do is come on down into your live scene, wherever your camera goes or your gameplay goes, and replace your existing camera sources, or if you're doing a new scene collection, this will be blank just like this. Go ahead and add an Ndi source. This will only show up once you've installed the Ndi plugin, same as the Tools Ndi output. So go ahead and create one. I'm going to call this Ndi camera, and you can just hit the drop down here and you'll see I have the two Ndi outputs that I set up earlier. So I'm going to put this one to camera and mic. I'm not going to turn anything else on. One thing to keep in mind here, if you do anything like filters, maybe a green screen or similar, you will want to do that in this composited, let's not zoom in that much on me. You'll want to do that in this composited OBS instance, not in the one that's streaming your camera and recording it. You're actually going to record it with all your filters off. So you're going to capture your actual green screen behind you, and then in this OBS instance, you're going to go ahead and apply your chroma key if you want to. And then similarly in your post-production, Adobe Premiere, OpenShot, DaVinci Resolve, you're going to apply your chroma key, your LUT filters, anything like that. You're going to do that in post-production. So just record as close to source as possible. So add your camera, Ndi input, and then add another Ndi source. And we're going to call this Ndi gameplay. And we're going to pick the other Ndi source that's on here. You can leave all the defaults, really. I'm going to drop these below. You could change some of this stuff. You could change the bandwidth if you have issues. You could change, I don't know. I don't adjust any of that, so I don't really think there's a lot of point. At this point, you should now have two instances of OBS. You can see one's up in the upper left here, and one is right here, kind of on the right side of the screen. And the camera, the one up here in the upper left, this is actually capturing in real time off of my camera. And the one down here is actually capturing off the network. You can see there's no delay because it's sub-millisecond delay going from your computer back to itself. Similarly, here's the gameplay, and this is actually it being captured over the network. So with this setup, go ahead and, resize, put this wherever you want to. You could add additional browser sources or images or any other assets you normally put on your stream. So when I stream live, I have a chat scrolling on here, and maybe stream alerts, follows, and raids, and so on and so forth. Go ahead and add those at this time, and then you're ready to go. So take this profile that you're on. So I'm on the demo. You would normally be on your Twitch stream. And in this one, for the settings, you want to make sure that on your stream output, you see I'm actually connected to my Twitch account. This is the one you actually want connected to your Twitch account, or your YouTube or Facebook Live or whatever you're streaming to. Make sure this is connected, and then you can actually, you could start streaming. I'm not going to do this, but you could do that, and you would actually be live on Twitch with this. Now, when you do that, the only other thing you want to do is make sure to press Control-Alt-R. I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to press it. Oh, let me stop this recording. I guess I didn't stop that one earlier. So The only other thing that I want to point out is when you press Control-Alt-R, watch this start recording button here, and the one down here, Control-Alt-R. You see they both light up. And you can also see on this right side, there's no delay in the camera. There's no delay in the gameplay. If I come down here to the camera, I can see there's a file being written. If I go back to the gameplay folder, there's another file being written. At this point, you know, I have my stream chat here and whatever else I normally have set up inside OBS. The only other thing I'll do is just demo that when I click into the game, it is actually live. So now you can actually hear the game. It's kind of loud. I haven't actually started this game yet, but I can open this up. I don't know if you can see my FPS counter.
You're alive. Can you?
Okay. So that's pretty much it. I paused the game audio. I want to just back out of the game at this point. So that's really all there is to it. You can then stop recording, and you could actually go in and set a hotkey to stop recording, maybe Control-T or something like that. Whoops. Control-T or some other hotkey so that you can just stop it at the same time. One other tip I would say is to maybe do a clap if you want to sync up the audio and everything, but you should be able to figure that out pretty simply because there's not a lot of stuff going on here. And what you'll see is I have one file here, which is the gameplay. And this is going to be a long thing of silence. And then there's the gameplay that we captured. And I believe I was talking through this point. You can see there's no mic talking over this. And then I can go back to the camera. And there's me talking. So I could then bring those two files in. Oh, there we go. Could go into my production software like Premiere or DaVinci Resolve, bring those files in, and edit them separately, adjust the audio mix if I wanted to. And that's basically it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. You're welcome to join the Discord. Find me on there. You can shoot me a DM, drop me an email. My contact information is on my website. Again, it's hm37.net. All my links are on there under the About Me page, as well as the text resources for this video. So links to install the Ndi plugin. Well, really, it's just the one link to install Ndi plugin, as well as a text write-up of all this. So I'll be putting that out there shortly. I just have to actually type it up, and then I'll create a post, and I'll put this on my Twitch channel. And in maybe an hour or so, you should see this all live on the internet. So enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a good day. Bye.